Alright, in this video, I'm going to be doing a short sort of analysis for the newest 4-star unit, Hanya. Uh, she is featured in the newest 5-star unit, Argenti's banner, but she's also featured in the Silverwolf's banner, so there are a lot of places to get her, and she's definitely a unit you do not want to miss out on. So, let's start off with the light cones. The only 5-star Harmony light cone that we have right now is But the Battle Isn't Over, and it is a strong choice as it does increase her energy regen, which she definitely likes with that 140 alt energy cost, and also doubles down on the skill point generation, because you will now generate skill points through her ultimate. If you're running units that can advance their actions forward like Susheng, you can also take advantage of the aspect of the light cone where you can boost the next ally's damage, but without units with the guaranteed advanced actions, it's a little bit more RNG since you don't have the guarantee from, say, a Bronya skill. There are a lot of great 4-star light cone options, in my opinion. Harmony's one of the better classes when it comes to 4-star light cones. And let's just start out with Planetary Rendezvous. It's a great light cone for monophysical teams, and she does run really well with physical units like Sushing and Clara, so it's definitely a great option if you have it, and can just help those teams just go further. Dance 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 is another universally powerful, or is just a universally powerful support light cone. It advances all allies' actions forward whenever she uses her ult, so it's a pretty strong option, especially if you're not running a mono physical team and you're kind of more in a rainbow type team and you just need a supporting light cone. It's a solid choice. Finally, the Memories of the Past is, in my opinion, a pretty strong option if you're running her kind of a weakness break build, which is viable enough. I'll get more onto that later, but it also boosts her energy regen, which is another good thing because she does need that for her ult. The final light cone I'll suggest is the 3-star light cone Meshing Cogs. In my opinion, it's one of the strongest 3-star light cones that I actually run pretty regularly on my Harmony characters, especially like units like Tingyun, who just need a little bit more energy, and then Asta, I can get a turn 1 Asta ult just off it, because it regenerates energy when they attack and when they are attacked. So yeah, it's a pretty solid light cone and is also a really good budget option. For the traces, there's not really a lot to get to. They're pretty simple for the most part. You want to focus on the alt and talent, just because those will increase her supporting aspects, and that is something you want so that you can boost the DPS of your strongest character. After you get those upgraded, you will want to focus on the skill, because it has some pretty decent scaling, and as long as you have her built with some attack stats, she's going to do some pretty decent damage. You don't really need to focus on the basic attack any more than you would any other character. She does have some, I guess if you did build her a full attack unit, she would do some decent basic attack damage. But for the most part, you'd want to be skill spamming with her just so that you can get the skill point generation. And unless you're running a really skill point hungry team and you can't afford it, there's really no reason not to skill spam. Okay, so for the relics and builds and stuff, generally you want to build her pretty speedy, but with some decent attack stats because she does have a pretty hard hitting skill. A few suggestions would be we'll start off with the support set, which would be a 4-piece Hackerspace, then 2-piece Land of the Dreams, or a 2-piece Broken Keel, depending if you're running mono physical or not. The set would focus more on the Hackerspace, because it's just when you use your ultimate on any ally character, it'll advance every character's speeds. Sorry, it'll just increase every character's speed. So it's just a really good set for any support character. For the main stats, you're just going to want to focus on attack for the body piece, speed for the boots, physical damage for the spear, then energy regen for the rope. If you wanted to build her more offensively, you could potentially cut out the energy regen, but you would lose a little bit of your ult. And if you want to build her more defensively, you could replace the attack percent or the physical damage for an HP or defense percents. And then for the substats, you'd probably want speed or effect res for the most part. Or if you're building her a little bit more offensively, you could also build crit or attack as well. Another good set would be a more DPS oriented set, which is like a two-piece boxing plus two-piece hacker space. That gives you a speed boost and a physical damage boost, which are both stats she really likes. Then you can finish that off with a two-piece Glamoth if you're running sort of a rainbowy team and you don't need the two-piece from Land of Dreams. But if you are running a monophysical team, then Land of Dreams is one of the better options, just because it increases the physical damage of the entire team, including herself. For the main stats, you're probably going to want attack or crit rate for the body piece, depending on how high you can get the crit rate through substats. Speed for the boots, physical damage for the spear, and attack for the rope. If you wanted to kind of do a hybrid support build, you could just replace the attack percent rope for an energy percent rope to increase her ult uptime. For the substats, you probably want to focus on speed and crit. The last build is something that I did kind of mention earlier, which is the weakness break build. I do think it's fairly viable, but it does need more of a dedicated team towards. But the Memories of the Past does give her a 56% break effect. And with her minor traces, she can really easily reach the 145% speed requirement of Talia. So if you build a 4-piece Thief plus a 2-piece Talia, plus the Memories of the Past, you're easily getting over 100%, even close to 150% break effect before you even factor in other relic stats. For your main stats, you're probably just going to want to focus on attack speed, physical damage, and break effect. Then just have break effect substats, and then speed substats as well, because you do want her. Probably, it would depend depending on the team. You would kind of need to speed tune because she doesn't have an offensive ultimate. So if you wanted to break with her, you'd kind of need to pre-plan it. But I do think that if you can get those breaks, it would be huge, and I do think that she would be very strong. For the Eidolons, they're all really strong. There's not really a whole lot for me to say of don't pick this one or anything, just because, yeah, they're all really strong. Her second one gives her a 20% speed boost whenever she uses her skill, which is pretty much permanently because I would imagine you choose her skill every turn unless your team's really slow and just can't burn the entire skill's use of getting all the skill points. But yeah, I would imagine you'd use her skill every turn. Her fourth Eidolon helps with her large ult energy cost because it does extend the duration of her ult buff by a turn, so it will be active for longer so you have more time to charge up your ult. The sixth Eidolon just gives her an extra 10% damage boost on her talent, which is pretty good because damage boost is one of the better stats, so getting a 10% boost to it is always welcome. We'll end this off with the team comps. There's not really a lot to say with DPS because she's just pretty universally liked on any team. But if you are running her with skill point hungry units like Imbibber Lune or Chinchua, or units that just don't generate skill points like Jingliu and Blade, and are skill point negative if you're running like say a Bronya without limit breaks, she would be definitely welcome on those teams, just to try to get you skill point neutral or even skill point positive. Uh, in my opinion, her main strength comes from being paired with a a skill point hungry support, like say a Bronya without the limit breaks, a Silverwolf or an Asta, for example. Just because you can turn those skill point negative teams into skill point neutral teams, which just makes you have more consistent DPS. And I do think that she's just welcome with those characters, and I do think Silverwolf's probably one of her best pairings. So it's just really great that she's featured on Silverwolf's banner. When it comes to sustain units, pretty much anyone works. You can run Hua with her if you really wanted to maximize her ult energy. Then Hua would also boost the attack stats of the team through her ult to kind of make up for Hanya losing out on some buffs for the skill point generation. Other than that, there's not really a specific support I'd focus on with her. Like she does make 4-star skill point hungry supports a lot more viable because a lot of the time you can't really justify using a skill point to heal, whereas a lot of the 5 stars supports have passive healing. So yeah, she does help there. My final thoughts are that this character is just a really strong character that brings something new to the table that just justifies using her over other Harmony characters depending on the situation. I do like that she pairs very well with one of my favorite 4-star DPS Sushangs, and yeah, overall, just a really great character. She was definitely the thing I looked forward to when pulling on the Argenti banner. Was a little sad that I only pulled one of her on his banner, so that was, a little sad. But yeah, honestly, a really great character. They're making a lot of great 4-stars, so I'm definitely looking forward to what they're gonna come up with next. Uh, that's pretty much gonna be it for the video. I will include some clips after this just to kind of showcase her in some stages and stuff to kind of show what she can do. But next week, when the Memory of Chaos buff resets, I will do some Memory of Chaos runs, more focusing on her to just highlight her strengths. And yeah, she's just the newest unit, so I do want to kind of show what she's made of. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you want to stick around for the next few clips, feel free. Otherwise, I will catch you in the next video.
Quick, let's make a sneak attack. 100% break. I won't surrender.
This will recount.
Don't your hands hurt? Dodge this!
Still I shall be the judge. The 10 Lords decree, hereby ordained.
I can do this! Protect me! Protect me!
Dinosaur devils! I'll crush them all!
This combat needs up. This is double speed. Take this! Rise, Venus! Dodge this!
Recount.
Time for a fun. Please give me strength. Can I have time for a fun? I'm gonna hold everyone back again. This combat This is double speed. More anim. Time for a fun.
I shall be the judge. By the will of the 10 Lords. The 10 Lords decree, hereby ordained.
Dinosaur devils! I'll crush them all!
Dodge this! This combat This is double speed.
Recount.
Take this! Rise, Venus! Can I? Time for a fun. Don't your hands hurt?
This is serious. I shall be the judge.
Dodge this!
Recount.
No more playing nice.
By the will of the 10 Lords decree, hereby ordained.
This combat This is double speed.